Shalom Uvrach, and welcome to the weekly piece on the Parsha from Torah Giants on Chumash, written by Rabbi Rabbi Goodman, the Rabbi Emeritus of Yingishov Rockaway. Sit back and enjoy.
Welcome to Torah Giants on Chumash. I'm Steve Geller. So Yaakov was perilously left alone because he went back for tiny little glass bottles, and that explains everything, right? Probably not so much, but this week, Rabbi Goodman is going to make us all experts in this amazing episode. In our Parsha, Vayevaser Yaakov Levado, and Yaakov was left alone, Vayevek Ish Imo, and an Ish attacked him, Adalos HaShachar, until the break of dawn. Rashi on this pasuk quotes a Gemara in Chulin. The reason Yaakov remained alone was that he remained to collect some small pitchers that had been left behind. This begs for more color. Rabbi Goodman brings us Rav David Pardo's Moscow LeDavid, who offers a very provocative explanation. Yaakov always carried bottles of pure oil with which to anoint an altar to Hashem. Therefore, he had to retrieve them so they not become defiled. In the run-up to the meeting with Esav, despite all of Yaakov's fears, he knew that Hashem would not abandon him. He therefore anticipated that after his confrontation with Esav, he would build Hashem an altar of thanksgiving, so he would need the oil to anoint it. The Gemara refers to a building housing an olive press, which is called a Beis Habad. Thus, Yaakov remained behind Levado for his bad, his oil. And here's where it gets more interesting. In addition, if we look at the fifth stanza of Maoz Tzur, and I am not going to sing it to you, but here is a clip of the talented Moshe Bergel. From the remnant of the containers, a miracle happened. Based on this stanza, some cryptically conclude that by the virtue of Yaakov's return for his little bottles, the miracle of Hanukkah occurred. And it's obviously no coincidence that this Parsha is read in such close proximity to Hanukkah itself. Thanks to the Moscow LeDavid, this connection isn't cryptic at all, but very clear. Just as Yaakov had faith in Hashem delivering him from Esav, that he made sure to have oil with which to show his gratitude, the Maccabean went to war totally outnumbered with great faith and were rewarded with oil. Let's go back to that Gemara in Chulin, which ends very strangely. The reason Yaakov remained alone was that he remained to collect some small pitchers that he had left behind. From here it is derived that the possessions of the righteous are dearer to them than their own bodies. Rabbi Goodman points out that this statement sounds downright anti-Semitic, but Rav Meir Shapiro explains it perfectly. The wicked love only physical pleasures, squandering ridiculous amounts of money on such pursuits. In contrast, tzaddikim are almost oblivious to their bodies, so they spend their money giving tzedakah, building yeshivas, synagogues, mikvahs, knowing that their philanthropy will earn them a place in Olam Haba. So of course they love their money more than their own bodies. Going back to our pasuk, the Bereshis Rabbah compares Yaakov to Hashem himself. In Yeshayahu, it says, Hashem levado b'yom hahu, Hashem alone will be exalted on that day. In Dvarim, Ein Ke'el Yeshurun. Yeshurun, Yaakov, there is none like God. How do we understand this audacious equation? Hashem stands levado, alone in his exalted majesty, and the phrase Ein Ke'el Yeshurun, which refers to both Hashem and Yaakov as standing alone. And notice how similar it is to our pasuk, Vayevaser Yaakov Levado, and Yaakov was alone. Hashem alone transcends both present natural laws and the laws of history, according to which world powers inevitably rise and fall, typically to never be heard of again. Egypt, Greece, Rome, Spain, Persia, even Germany never regained their prior dominance, even though they were far larger, controlling far more territory. This is because Hashem is unbound by time and space. In this physical world of his, however, everything is controlled by these laws, nations rising and falling into irrelevance, except Yaakov. He alone shares in the eternal destiny of God himself. Defying historical law, Am Yisrael rises and falls only to rise again. Thus, Hashem is alone in heaven and Yaakov is alone on earth. If Yaakov's night-long battle represents Am Yisrael's struggle for survival against the eternal forces of Amalek and Edom, as some have written, his victory symbolizes our triumph over both historical forces, the eternal process of decline and dissolution that has never applied to the tiniest Jewish nation, and the human hostility unleashed against us throughout our history in Galus. Thus, Yaakov is told, "You have fought with God, the God-given laws of time, and with man, Israel's human enemies, and have prevailed." Indeed, the text labels Yaakov's adversary as an Ish, but it is a spiritual force, thus combining the two elements Am Yisrael is destined to defeat at dawn in the days of Mashiach. Thank you again for watching. Once again, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and how can you not tell your friends and family to do so? Sharing Rabbi Goodman's amazing Torah so none of you miss another incredible insight from his masterpiece, Torah Giants on Chumash.